Hi guys, so this video is going to be on books that I've read in the month of November. And yes, I do have some new glasses. The model is called Florence and I'm gonna link these down below for you guys if you're interested. These are non-prescriptive glasses because I don't have to wear prescriptive glasses, but if you do, I think these are gorgeous. Okay, let's get on with the books. So these are the 4 of the books that I've read. I'm gonna start with the biggest one, which is called Tanya. And it's by Tanya. It's a beautiful hardcover book and I especially love this spine because it's very sparkly. It has little gold stars and hearts. So you guys know how much I love Tanya. She's a YouTuber, in case you don't know that already. I got it purely because I admire Tanya as a person and it was really interesting for me to read more about her life. It's kind of like an autobiography book. It starts with her parents and how they met, then it talks about her childhood. It has lots of pictures from her childhood. The book is just filled with gorgeous pictures of Tanya. I mean, look at this one. Isn't it adorable? And it's divided in sections. So you've got skincare essentials, you've got another chapter called Love, there's one called Hair and Nail Essentials. What are the other ones? There's one called YouTube. Looking Forward chapter. This is the last one. This one is called Confidence and Happiness. There's one called Fashion. This one is Life, and the pictures are just so stunning. It's a very informative book if you want to learn more about Tanya, about her love, life, fashion, hair care essentials. It has product recommendations and in every chapter you have her top tip, my top tips on dressing for first date, my top 10 favorite places, and then you have some space for notes where you can write your own favorite things. I also really enjoyed her baking and recipes chapter where she just has a bunch of her favorite recipes. So her like lemon drizzle cake, and I really want to bake some of these now, like milk and white chocolate cookies. So it's basically a book that has everything that has to do with Tanya and I absolutely love it. I mentioned this in my vlog video that the book was written in a way that it feels like Tanya is talking to you because it doesn't have this maybe very eloquent kind of writing. It doesn't feel like you're reading a novel or anything like that. It's just like a biography book of someone talking about themselves and it feels really raw and natural and organic, and you guys know Tanya's bubbly personality, so it shines throughout the book. I would recommend this book for someone who is into Tanya, because if you're not, then I'm not sure if you would like it because it's more of a personal book. Another book I've read is by Mark Forsyth and it's called The Elements of Eloquence, How to Turn the Perfect English Phrase. And this book is gorgeous. I mean, the cover is so incredible. I just want to stroke it because it's matte. It feels like NARS makeup packaging and it's like very shiny and gold as well. To describe it in a couple of words, I would say it's a witty and funny textbook, because that's what it is essentially. It's a textbook, but it's written in such a way that it makes it extremely pleasurable and enjoyable for you to read. There were times reading this book where I just laughed out loud because it's hilarious. It's seriously hilarious. Of course he knows how to write well because that's his field, but it's just amazing. So I'm gonna list some of the chapters so that you guys get an idea what this book is about. You've got alliteration, polyptoton, antithesis, merism, diacopy, rhetorical questions, paradox, assonance, the 14th rule, metonymy and synecdoche. If you want to improve your writing, I think it's a great book. If you're a blogger, I don't think it would improve your writing. I think it's mostly useful for those who write books, prose, poems. He talks a lot about Shakespeare. A lot of these examples are from Shakespeare and that's really interesting to me, and he's so funny. He makes fun of Shakespeare. Okay, I'm gonna give you an example of the style of this book and the way that the author writes. Chapter number 2, Polyptoton. Poor Polyptoton is one of the lesser known rhetorical tricks. It has no glamour, it isn't taught to school children, it has a silly name which sounds a bit like polyp, a word for nasal growth. In fact, it comes from the Greek for many cases, but that hardly makes up for it. I would recommend this book to anyone who enjoys English as a language. Another book I've read is by Neil Gaiman, and it's called The Ocean at the End of the Lane. I'm gonna read what it says at the back. So here you go. This is what he remembers as he sits by the ocean at the end of the lane. A dead man on the back seat of the car, a warm milk at the farmhouse, an ancient little girl, and an old woman who saw the moon being made. A beautiful housekeeper with a monstrous smile, and dark forces woken that were best left undisturbed. Their memories, hard to believe, waiting at the edges of things. The recollections of a man who thought he was lost but is now perhaps remembering a time when he was saved. So this is a magical realism book. The book starts with a funeral ceremony and the protagonist just gets into his car and he drives off. He drives to this house who belongs to Hemstocks. Only women live in this house and they've been living there for generations. Next to this house there's a pond. His memories are rekindled. He remembers this girl called Letty Hemstock, who was his friend at that time when he was a young boy of 7. And this girl used to call the pond her ocean. That's why it's called the ocean at the end of the lane. Because to that girl, it wasn't just a pond. It was an ocean that contained mysteries. And she was really angry with anyone who would say it's not an ocean. This idea that the girl thought the pond was an ocean just makes you think how we perceive the world when we are children. So I think the aim of the book was to portray the world through a 7-year-old eyes, how he sees things, how he sees his parents, his younger sister, he has a nanny whom he despises, and how he thinks she's this evil creature, monster as he calls her. And it's just about being a child and being very vulnerable and not having control of anything, like being controlled by your parents or this nanny, and just feeling very weak in the world, I guess. There are really disturbing parts in the book. For example, the one where the father is trying to drown the boy in the bathtub. And to me it was really heart-wrenching, and I had a hard time reading this part because it was just so disturbing. I was like, how this father can do this just because he made noise and misbehaved and called the nanny monster. The book has quite a few of those moments where you're not sure what is going on because they're like magical, imaginary things, like going back in time. I had really high hopes for this book. I thought it's gonna be amazing, but it wasn't at all as I've expected it to be. It was very different to my expectations. I would give it 3 out of 5 stars because the premise was there. It could have done so much more, but it just didn't. The ending was so disappointing. Reading the book, you feel sad about the boy, but I just didn't really understand his relationship with his father. The mother didn't really seem to be there or care for the boy at all, and the father was so rude and nasty to him, even though the boy didn't really do anything to deserve such behavior. And like there wasn't really a connection between father and son, and it was just like the relationship was mentioned a couple of times, but it wasn't really there. I feel like the author could have worked a bit more on their relationship so that you would understand more why they feel the way that they feel. Just couldn't relate to the boy or like him. The way that I saw the world through my 7-year-old eyes was completely different. I was much more happy and positive and playful, and I saw beauty around me. The boy just seemed to be too depressed for his age. I'm not sure if I would recommend it to my friends or family. The last book I've read is The Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Pretty thick, that one, and now I'm reading the 5th one, which is the thickest of them all. It's 760 pages, I believe. This book was incredible. I think it's my favorite so far. I really like the first 2. The 3rd one was okay. I mean, they're all absolutely amazing, but I would say the 3rd was my least favorite. But the 4th one was amazing. I think it's probably because the Triwizard tournament is happening, and we also get to meet students from other wizarding schools like the Beauxbatons or the Durmstrang from Bulgaria and Bilbeton from France. And it's just so magical, the way that they arrive to Hogwarts, especially the French girls. We get to meet Fleur Delacour. She's such an epitome of a French girl, the way that she acts and talks. And I really enjoyed that J.K. Rowling kept the French accent. Like it's written in English but with a French accent, and it's so funny, and you just it allows you to imagine things a lot better. And oh, it's just such a beautiful book. Also, the Yule Ball is happening and just so much going on in this book. Oh, I forgot to mention that this book starts with a Quidditch World Cup. It's just amazing. I cannot have enough of Harry Potter, and the books and the movies. They are just magical. And I'm not sure if you guys know that, but I posted on Instagram that in 2017 in March I'm going to the Harry Potter play in London with my boyfriend. Can we just have a moment for this? I'm so excited. There are 7 books, but the play is gonna be part 8, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, and it's gonna be all about his children. Harry will be working in the Ministry of Magic by then. When I ordered the tickets, I was like, oh my god, now I'm gonna have to wait 1.5 years for it, but I was like, I don't care, I'm gonna go to London just for it. And I called to my boyfriend, I was like, look, I'm buying Harry Potter tickets, are you going with me in 2017 in London? He was like, no, please not make me do it, because he detests Harry Potter. He's Lord of the Rings guy. I love Lord of the Rings as well, but I love Harry Potter too, and he doesn't, but he said, okay, for you, I'm gonna go. So I got 2 tickets for us, and I'm so excited. And yeah, the books are incredible. If you haven't read them, where have you been? I'm gonna continue reading book number 5, watch all of the movies around Christmas time again for, I don't know, like 100th time already. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and talk to you soon. Bye.